Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Shannon and I are back for another Survivor What If. We're here for Survivor What If China, and the scenario we're covering today is what if Aaron Reisberger, him and James both get swapped to Zhan Hu, Sheree and Frosty go to Fei Long. What if the Zhan Hu tribe, when they throw the challenge, they get rid of James and keep Aaron in the game? How does this play out differently? Because we know Aaron was very swap screwed, and we want to talk about how Survivor China completely changes. So,
yeah, this will be an interesting one because I feel like looking back in Survivor history, like Aaron was someone that if you did the odds like 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, he's going very far that season and was probably pegged to win and play a very big role, not just because he's like a likable guy and physical and all that, and so like a natural leader, but because he had strong alliances. People like wanted to work with him. And I feel like he could have done so much. And that season was already amazing. Like, it's one of the better seasons out there. Like, for me, it's in top 5, I think, or at least top 10. So if he goes farther, it could be even better. But yeah, I just think like it's interesting that Aaron had this happen to him and like has never really been brought back. It's kind of been glossed over when, who knows? Like, he could have been a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time player. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, James was 3-time player in like 5 seasons.
Right. I remember watching, I think, China when I was watching them on DVD for the first time, or I guess that might have been the second time, but I was watching with my dad and catching him up on the older seasons, and I remember getting to this point where Aaron goes, and he's like, I'm surprised Aaron has not been brought back, is what he told me as well. And I'm like, you know, if my dad is saying this, like, I don't know, I feel like Aaron probably should have come back, I mean, for a second chance type of thing. Because I feel like that was the only spot really where I could have seen them making a strong case for him to return. I mean, they obviously had PG come back for a second chance, so obviously they were looking at China anyway. So I don't know. I mean, I know, like Leslie told us, Aaron was like so obviously the leader to everybody, so I know that he already had a big target on his back. But as you said, he was aligned with Todd and Amanda. He seemed like most of his tribe still liked him and wanted to work with him. So it's not like, I don't know. It's not like he was unlikable or people wanted to take a shot at him from his own tribe. So
right. Yeah, like I think the best opportunity for him to come back, because for a while they really weren't bringing back pre-mergers. It really only started in Blood versus Water and then Cambodia, where it made sense in Cambodia. And Blood versus Water, it actually it didn't really go noticed. It was fine. Game changers are happening again, and there I'm like, why? But
yeah,
the best for me would have been a captain season. Like if they did a captain season with like people that were screwed like that, because I mean they kind of did it with Philippines with the Medevacs because Scoopin and Russell Swan were pre-merge. To have like Aaron Rosenberger, I mean Hunter Ellis fits that from Marquesa. Not that I'm like that inclined to see him again, because like those two are too similar, But
Yeah.
like Aaron, and we could find some other, like one or two others that like went out too soon that you could probably put in that spot and do a captain season, and that would have been, I think, a really good opportunity for him, especially because he was like such a good leader that I think his tribe would gravitate around him the way they did gravitate around like Rob and then Ozzy and to an extent Coach as well, Russell being the exception.
Yeah, the only person Aaron was even arguing with was Jean Robert, and nobody liked Jean Robert. So
right.
I don't think Jean Robert is convincing anyone. I mean, he couldn't even convince anyone to vote out James.
Exactly. Yeah, I think a really good spot, like in the 20s, they should have had Aaron, Dr. Jill from Nicaragua was a good pre-merger and kind of like just missed the merge. I feel like there's probably one more we could have put in, and that'd be a really good captain season.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Michelle Yee, but she made merge and jury, so I'm trying to think of mergers.
Yeah, or it could be like people screwed by twists that went out a little too soon. It's like Michelle Yee and Aaron. I mean, it is a random mishmash of people, but so were Coach and Ozzy, although they're bigger names.
Yeah, that happened. So, yeah, within the season itself, so James goes over Aaron. I'm assuming at this point, you know, Fei Long, Todd, and Amanda still come up with this plan to save Aaron instead of James. So they are going to bring Aaron to that Charmin reward. And then Todd's going to give Aaron one of the idols, and then Aaron's going to figure out how to find the other one. So I feel like Aaron might just be in the position that James ended up being in, to be honest.
Yeah, I do think Aaron will get the two idols. However, one thing in the edit that Todd was like, oh, you know, I gave James this idol and helped him find the other, and now we're merged, and he hasn't even offered to give it back. I think Aaron would probably give one back to Todd. He would keep one because like he rightfully found it, but give one to Todd. So now Todd has an idol. Aaron has an idol. And I think Aaron as a leader, like James wasn't like a leader. Like he was part of the alliance, but not like running it, like not like a cult, but you know, they were very tight with Aaron there in charge. So I think they might be more inclined with Aaron running it to just pick off the Zhan Hu one by one and not take out some of their own. So like Jamie probably goes first, but then we lose Jean Robert, and I don't know that would actually happen anymore. Like it might because he was annoying to everybody, but I could see like an Eric or a PG going instead.
I could see Aaron pushing for either of them. However, because he didn't like Jean Robert either, I could still be like, Todd probably throws it up to Aaron and Amanda anyway. And then I feel like Aaron is like, yeah, I don't want to deal with Jean Robert anymore. So I could see PG or Eric going, but I could also still see like it being pushed for Jean Robert to go anyway. But now it's not. Maybe it's because it's not Todd's like 100% Todd's idea now, and Aaron's the one pushing it. I don't know. Maybe like Todd wants to back off from doing that at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. So maybe like they could go Jean Robert still. And then would they still go Frosty next or take out like Eric or PG? Well, they can't take out PG because she wins immunity, but maybe Aaron wins immunity because he's pretty good at challenges.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to remember if he really did anything in terms of like the puzzle stuff or the mental challenges, but I'm sure he was probably fine at them. So I feel like Aaron is probably like, yeah, Courtney and Frosty are close, and that's dangerous because I think Aaron was definitely in tune with stuff like that. We obviously saw him take out Leslie, so like I definitely think something like that would be a concern for him anyway, and him and Todd would probably be on the same page.
Right. So I could see that. So we're still the same, but here's where we're definitely not going to be the same.
Right.
Because now this is where James gets blindsided. Now Aaron only has one idol and Todd has an idol. So if Amanda gets antsy and wants to do something, like maybe she does want to do something, but I don't think it's Aaron. I think if she did want to do something, it might be Todd. But because she definitely at the end of the game is getting iffy with Todd, but like maybe not at this point yet. But so I take that back. I think at Final 7, they're still gonna stick strong, and they're actually gonna take out Eric or PG. Well, Eric won immunity here, so I guess
Eric won the
PG.
Ninja Stars, so it's PG. Yeah.
Yeah. So they take out PG, and then I do really think by 6 though, Amanda's like, okay, 2 people have idols, and there's 5 of us, and they're supposed to be in an alliance together. So like, how am I gonna weasel through so I get to the end? But I think this is arguably a trickier spot for her, because with James, like, you could kind of rally around it and be like, yeah, he has 2 idols, but he's this huge threat, and like, he's in the alliance, but he doesn't have like a number 1 in the way that like others do. We're here, let's say she tips off Aaron, and it's like, Aaron, let's get Todd because he has an idol. Well, Aaron might be like, well, if she's targeting Todd because he has an idol, like, I have an idol too.
Yeah.
So is she gonna target me next? Like, you know.
Yeah, at this point, maybe Amanda gets a move made on her, or they just like tip off Todd that a plan maybe going for him, or Aaron does that, and then they still like vote out Eric, just because they don't want to let a Zhan Hu get through to the end, because this is where Eric goes anyway. And assuming that the challenge, I feel like Todd might win it because Todd was the second closest, but also Aaron's there now, so Aaron could win it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what could happen is we could have a vote on Todd and he plays his idol. So like, let's say Eric, Amanda, Courtney, Denise. Would Denise vote Todd?
I don't think so. I feel like Denise kind of, to me, confirmed like she wasn't going to go with the Zhan Hu's or like anything. She wanted Fei Long to the end. So
okay, so that's at least 3 votes on Todd, and then maybe do Aaron, Todd, and Denise vote together? Because I'm not convinced the 3 of them would.
That's
but
true.
I think Denise would still vote Eric. Todd votes Eric, and now it's like Aaron. Maybe Aaron votes separate. Like, Amanda convinces Aaron to vote separately because she could see that like the opportunity is there. So maybe she tries her own little 3-2-1.
Right. Yeah. So let's say Todd plays his idol, negates 3 votes. Then what? Todd and Denise are still gonna have the 2 votes to take out Eric, right? At that point.
Or even if it is 3-3 and it's like Todd, Aaron, and Denise vote together, which maybe that happens, and Todd plays his idol, so it's not a tie anymore. Just 3-0. Eric goes. Kind of seems like a waste to idol out Eric, but
yeah.
Actually, well, it depends. Like, if Todd got tipped off and knew that Amanda was doing it, would he just idol out Amanda?
They could turn on Amanda. It just depends.
I don't. So that could be the 3-2-1 actually. So Courtney, Amanda, and who was the other? And Aaron. All right, now I confuse myself. It's bad. But Courtney, Amanda, and someone vote Todd. So I guess Aaron was the one I was thinking of. But if we have 3 on Todd and then... Oh, yeah, Eric would vote Todd. So Courtney, Amanda, Eric would vote Todd. That's what I was thinking of. And then Todd and Aaron vote Amanda. And Denise votes Eric.
Yeah. So Amanda gets blindsided. So,
like, obviously, we don't know that that's going to happen or not, but think we've reasoned through it where it's a possibility, and like this is all about what ifs. So
Right. This is what
I think that's an exciting thing, and like Amanda goes in 6th place, blindsided like that for being like this threat trying to turn on Todd. So Todd doesn't have an idol. Aaron still has an idol, and now we're in the final 5, and Eric's in the final 5. I think Denise will be all pissy, but like who's she pissy at? I think everybody, because she was the only vote.
Yeah.
So then Todd and Aaron have to deal with the fact that Courtney and Eric voted against them, and Denise is in the middle. So what happens here? Do they pull in Courtney and vote out Eric or Denise? Do they have both sides fighting for Denise's vote? Do they just, everyone votes Denise because like she was left out, and then we're going to get final 4 where it's a 2-2?
I think that Todd is more able to sway Courtney back. Like, I don't know, maybe last round Courtney had even not been in on Amanda's plan. Like, she would have tipped off Todd too anyway, and Todd would have just gotten nervous and played his idol anyway. So I don't know. I think they can pull back Courtney, and then they don't need Denise, but maybe they just tell Denise, okay, we're all just voting out Eric anyway. So because she helps vote out PG, it's a 4-1 vote that are there at 5. So I do think it's the same here. If Eric doesn't win immunity, which with Aaron there at this point, I feel like Aaron has a good shot at this challenge, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think Aaron wins immunity, and what would be amazing is if they vote out Eric, but Aaron's like, I need to get to the end, and I don't think I'm getting to the end, so let's play my idol on Eric. But yeah. I don't see that happening realistically. Because I think they're too afraid of a Zhan Hu in the finals. And also, I just don't know that, like, Aaron was strategic, yes, and like the leader, but I don't think that he was like that level of strategic where he would do that. So I think he would still just maybe not play his idol or play it on like Todd if Todd's his #1 ally.
Yeah, I agree. I think
he'd probably play it on whoever Eric is voting for.
Yeah, I could see him playing the idol for whoever Eric's voting for over. I don't think he'd play it for Eric. So
yeah,
it's too dangerous.
So then final 4 would be Todd, Courtney, Denise, Aaron.
I think the plates is anybody's game. What it came down to Denise and Amanda in the real timeline. Yeah. It honestly could be a crapshoot, and it could honestly be Denise winning the challenge. I wouldn't I don't necessarily know that Aaron's going to be amazing at bouncing plates either. So
I don't either, because I feel like maybe I'm just not making sense, but like a bigger guy is not necessarily the best at balance. So
no. So I mean, in Courtney,
maybe it's Denise. Denise wins final immunity.
Yeah, I actually think that too, and that actually might give Denise a pretty good chance at winning the season, to be honest, based on things that we know.
Because I think Courtney and Todd would probably vote Aaron. Because I think even though in this timeline, Todd and Aaron are pretty close and they're in cahoots for these, like saving Todd with the idol and everything, Todd is a gamer and wants to win the game and knows that Aaron's a threat. And I think he thinks that Courtney is not a threat. Yeah. So I think he would try to go Aaron rather than Courtney here. And I think Denise would easily see that Aaron's the bigger threat because Todd is schemy, and they all thought that, like, they could beat Todd.
Yeah, so I think Aaron's the fallen angel in this season.
And I think as the fallen angel, he has a really good reputation, like, as one of the stronger players by far.
Agreed. So now it's the final 3. I mean, at this point, Denise is there. So Denise could she probably gets John Robert and James. Well, unless Todd really strokes John Robert's ego so much still that John Robert still swaps his vote to him. But I think with Denise there,
Yeah, I think James for sure votes Denise. I think John Robert might too, because in the real final tribal, he's like, my dilemma is I hate all of you. But in this case, he doesn't hate Denise. So I think his vote would go her way.
Yeah.
I would assume Jamie is still going to vote Todd.
Frosty voted Todd.
Frosty, would still vote Todd.
Courtney and Todd, but I think he's voting Todd still.
Yeah.
And
then James will vote Denise instead of Courtney.
We have Amanda, Eric, and Aaron now.
So, and PG.
Oh, wait, and PG's there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I included James. I shouldn't have included James.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We forgot that James wasn't on the jury.
Yeah. So we have Jamie voting Todd, Jean Robert voting Denise, Frosty voting Todd.
Okay, PG.
PG.
I think PG swayed towards Todd as well, to be honest. I don't know, like, I feel like PG's also... Well, because in this timeline, did PG go on the Shaolin Reward with Denise, and then Denise still voted her out? Like...
Yeah.
So, and PG was pissed about that. So I feel like... I feel like PG is swung to vote for Todd, although, I don't know, like, I think she's pissed at Denise, but not too much. I don't know. And then
it could definitely be in the air between Denise and Todd, but let's go Todd. So it's 3 Todd, 1 Denise. Then we have Amanda. And I think this is a little tricky because Amanda was with Todd, but Todd voted her out. And does she respect that or not? And we've only seen her on the jury once, and I would say based on, I mean, that season's unique, but based on how she voted that season, especially that she didn't vote Parvati, I would say she's voting Courtney or Denise. She's not voting Todd.
I can see that. Yeah, I agree. I can see that from the one time we've seen Amanda on the jury. So, okay.
Yeah,
so,
I would say maybe, let's just say would she vote Denise or Courtney? I'm thinking maybe Denise.
I could see it. I don't know. I think she was somewhat close to Courtney though too, so I could see her putting Courtney's name down.
Okay, let's say she votes Courtney. So we're 3-1-1. So we have Eric left and we have Aaron left. So Eric was our Amanda vote, so he's not going to vote. So I think he would vote Denise.
Okay. Yep. I think that's probably correct.
Yeah. And then Aaron, given how this went, I feel like it's a Todd vote.
So Todd still wins 4-2-1.
4-2-1.
Real timeline. Wow.
But Aaron potentially could go Denise.
Yeah, I don't think he votes Courtney, so it's either. But at that point, I think Todd still wins because let's say it's 3-3-1. Courtney's the tiebreaker. She votes Todd win over Denise because she made the comment. Well,
she did make that, but it's Courtney. So would she be like, "Oh, I'm in this position. Like, let's just give it to Denise"? Like that would be fun.
She could do that. It is Courtney. So, all right. Yeah.
But it most likely would be Todd, probably.
Yeah, I think it's Todd, to be honest. So it's
none of these are changing much. Like none of these scenarios are actually changing much, but they're changing like reputation. So like Aaron now is like one of the best fallen angels. He's going to come back many times. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot more. Well, it happens in Micronesia anyway, but a lot more sneakiness of like, we need to blindside people with the idol and make sure they do not get tipped off. Because we saw Yao Man get tipped off, and now we saw Todd get tipped off at Final 6.
Yeah, I also think a lot of the reasoning for these not changing is because we've gotten into an era of quite a few really good winners in a row. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yule, Earl, Todd, I think are regarded as 3 of the best winners of all time. So,
for sure.
So I do think that helps things. I have all of them in my top 15 winners. Todd is just outside of my top 10 just because if I was going off of dominance, a couple winners from recently did go into that top 10.
Yeah.
But Todd would be my top 10 if I wasn't throwing them in. It was just threading needles for me, and I think Todd's great. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's our China What If. So tune in next week for more Survivor What If craziness on the Tribe of Nerds.